Okay, so part 2 of this dam buster flight. I certainly busted up on the first half, so what can I say? Complacency. Just because I got almost 2,000 hours in this sim in a jet and like less than 2 hours in this, and yep, that was enough to do me in. So what happened was I entered a valley knowing I'd have to climb a ridge at the end of it, because it says on my flight plan, waypoint 4, climb over the ridge. And then I boxed myself in, didn't give myself enough time to climb up. It was about a 2,000 foot climb, I guess. Tried to turn around, stalled and crashed very badly actually. So I thought I'd leave that video in as a reminder to myself and maybe others not to get into that situation. I've only crashed about 3 times in the whole making of this world tour, 2,000 hours of flying, but like I said, that was in the jet, which has so much excess power you can get out of anything. This not so much. So anyway, we're doing 120 knots, 26, 25 RPM. Now I'll stay low across the dam, but as soon as we enter the valley at the other end of the dam, I will start climbing, because we have to get over that notch in the distance. So, okay. Yes, note to self, read own notes. It does say waypoint 4, climb over the ridge. Yep. I don't know what else I could have said. Okay, so let's get back in the groove. We're having a nice time again, and thinking about picnics on those hills. I'm going to turn right in a moment, enter the valley, and as soon as I do that I will start to climb. So I'm at maximum RPM, or it's 2600, I got 100 under the limit, 115 knots, pretty fast, but the speed will bleed off dramatically as I climb, as I found out last time. And if I don't get enough altitude, I'll make sure I turn well before I reach the end of the valley. So here we go, entering the valley, and let's start to climb as we follow the valley round. So you're already back to 88 knots and dropping. Now luckily the valley, I think it runs left and right before we get to the end of it, so I will turn and keep climbing if I have to before I get to the fatal ridge, which is right there. Now, do I check? Yes, I can turn to the left, can turn to the right. Looks lower on the right, and we're going to make it. Now it's touch and go actually. I think. So change that station. But once again we're back to the back to almost. Can't get rid of these guys. Almost stall speed. So we're climbing slowly. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have made it. See, there's a stall right there. So I'm going to climb up this valley until I get way above all these hills, and then I'll just circle back and cross the ridge. Cool. Oh, it's part of the fun of flying. These things, staying alive, thinking ahead, not being a dunderhead. Okay, so I'm getting speed back up 70 knots and I'm still climbing. So that's good, 2,800 feet coming up. So if I clear, yeah, it's pretty high up there. So I'll just keep going the safe direction here as I climb. 3,500 feet is quite a climb. You really get spoilt in the old jets. Coming into 4,000 feet. 84 knots, so climb a bit faster. So we're pretty slow, so I'm not going to turn yet. 80 knots. Okay, I think I'll start to turn now. Let's do it. Carefully. Carefully. Yeah, so we're at 5,200 feet now. So that ridge is much higher than I thought. We're probably good now. And then we've got the clouds to worry about. So that's cool. So okay, there is a gap between the clouds and top of that ridge. That's where we're going through. That was fun. So every flight is different in this world. That's for sure. And what's the old saying? Complacency killed the cat. I think that's how it goes. That's where we're crossing over. Yeah, it's about a good 5,000 feet. I should put that in the notes. Whoa, look at that turbulence there. So there's the entrance to the valley we flew up. Just see the dam start down there. But let's focus. Okay. Now it's a good sign I can see the land beyond, I can see the lake. So let's cross. Speed's 87 knots, I'm happy with that. And then of course once we get across it is a rapid descent. So 4,500 feet. Guess you could get across down there about 4.3, 4.2. But you can see what a steep climb it is. And that's where I met my grisly end previously. Trying to climb up there like a madman. Okay, let's throttle back. Not to the extent where the engine cuts out. And we can see the bridge, 12 o'clock, that we're heading for. Phew. Now we're going really fast actually, so that's another thing to watch out for, overspeed. We're at 140 knots, which I think is probably a bit of a no-no. So I should have been flying an S pattern as we descended. So a few things to think about. Back to 110 knots. $120. A lot of energy up. Obviously slow down a bit, I'll put the throttle back up. Okay, it's 110 knots. I'll throttle up again. Right, phew. So many ways that terrain makes life interesting. So as we circle this promontory, we'll see a narrow isthmus with a bridge at the far end. That's our waypoint. I'll come back at a later point and fly around this lake too, but not today. That's where we're going. There's a little bridge, just here. A bit hard to see, but you can see the that narrow neck of land very clearly. Okay. So there's a notch directly ahead. We're flying over that. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. So pretty much heading west. Wind's coming from the north still. 25 knots, 23 knots. Pretty sure it's making us crab into the wind. So let's try some left to rudder here. That looks better. I don't believe this has a rudder trim. And in the jets I've never used rudder trim, even though it does have it. But I can definitely feel the need for it here. Right, let's make sure we clear this ridge. So 2500 RPM. There we go, 84 knots, we'll start to climb. Yeah, it's really turning to the right. Interesting. Everything looks alright back there, from what I can see. Flaps are definitely up. Let's focus on the climb here. 66 knots, a bit more power. Mixture is full, check that again, yes. Yeah, see, we're 58 knots. Really should have climbed earlier. Back to 64. And our next waypoint is this dam. Eichenhoff Dam. And another notch. You can see in the distance that tall hill straight ahead, just to the left of that. Okay. beautiful patchwork. I'm guessing they're vineyards as well. Just going to turn north for a moment, see if this crabbing motion is indeed being caused by the wind. Yeah, I'm not sure that it is. Could be just the way I'm sitting. Okay, let's go back to the west. Okay, on to the next waypoint. There's also another slight climb. You clearly see where we're heading now. Let's pull the map up just to verify. Leaving that dam, and yep, right on track. So waypoint 7's another dam, waypoint 8 is the coast. Looks like I rode along a large body of water actually. Cool. Well, the slip and turn indicator tells me I'm going straight ahead, but it still looks weirdly off to the... like we're crabbing, doesn't it? Okay, you can see the body of water coming up, which is Upper Steam Brass Dam. See the north shore of the bay over there. Okay, back to enjoying the scenery. Lots of great contrasts around here with the lakes and the farmland, mountain peaks, dam coming up. Let's have a look at it out the left window. Nice. Awesome. Now at the end of this lake there's a very steep drop down to the bay, and then we turn right going north pretty much, or heading 320 back to the airport. Now I could follow the east side of the bay, but I'll keep it short because we're already up to 20 minutes in this leg. I'll save that for another day. You can see the drop off coming up. And second last waypoint, waypoint 8, False Bay. I was looking for the name of the bay. Turn right across False Bay. I'm going to throttle back, not to idle cut off, and prepare to descend. Doing 100 knots. Here we go. Bump the seat up a bit. There we go. Nice. Very good. And we're back on track to the airport. Yes, there's a whole lot to explore over there. It's a great area to fly around actually, and because they've got the Cape of Good Hope over yonder. So between those two flights, Cape of Good Hope, 60 odd miles that way, and this one, 60 plus miles that way, you cover a fair bit of territory, and there's plenty of places along the way to linger and have a look-see. Look at the colour of that water, it's almost purple. Absolutely gorgeous. (114 knots, 2350 RPM. Very good. And I'm going to call the airport. I'm going to use my voice control here. Channel 2. Channel 3. Channel 3. Channel 1. Mike India Golf 3.
Capetown Tower 007 is 15 miles southeast, 300 feet with Oscar to land.
007 Capetown Tower. Altimeter 29er, 2 wind 025 at 51. Make straight in runway 01.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Make straight in runway 01007.
Make straight in. 01. There it is. 010. And the water's changed colour, depending on the clouds, I guess. Let's start to climb a bit. 100 knots. camouflage colour on for water operations. Getting them blowing a bit off track there. Let's check the map. Pretty good. And let's see if we climb enough. Should be able to spot the airport. Plenty of time. So let's keep climbing. Speed 78 knots. Beautifully subtle colours over there. So 27 minutes coming up. Probably going to need a third part to get this back on the ground, as my gun camera does cut out at 30 minutes. So I might do that now. I just restart it before we. So the next one begins as we cross the beach. I'm going to keep climbing above 1500 feet. Going through 1700 now, because I really want to spot the airport as far out as I can. Okay, so I'll stop this at 28 minutes and restart it immediately.